I am live. Let me just close the window. Okay, nothing. Brilliant. Let me see if this is working. And we've got music. Ah, it says live now. Okay. It says live now. Oh, I can see myself. Excellent. Okay, no one is joining yet. We have one person. Amazing. Who is that? I've actually got my laptop working today, but I'm still doing it on my phone. Hello, two people. It's a bit slow today. Wonderful. Who is on the live stream? Let me know in the chat. 3 people. I think it will shut up soon, but that's all good. Right, can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Let me know. Yes, I can't see anything in the chat. El Green, hello. Welcome. Yes. Am I going back to Mexico? Yes, of course I am. That has been on the agenda literally forever. Yes. So, yeah, in 3 weeks I'm back in Mexico. Oh, okay. 1 second. So I'm noticing that the chat on my laptop is like a couple of seconds behind the one on my phone. Yes. Is the music a problem behind? Because I can do this another time. Yes. Yeah, so I am back in Mexico in 3 weeks. September the 5th, back to CDMX, which has always been on the agenda. My flight's been booked since I was in Cuba, which was a long time. Oh, the music stopped. Lovely. Yeah, back to CDMX. We've got 4 people now. Hello, 4th person. Legendary Watford. How are you doing, mate? What's up? What are you up to? What is everyone up to today on this Saturday? Yeah, so I'm back in Mexico September the 6th. Then I go to, well, end of October. While I'm there, I'm going to do a trip to Guadalajara and Monterrey for a week. I'm hoping Harwin will come onto this live stream from Monterrey, because one of the things I want to ask people about, especially Mexican people, is there anyone... I realised I'm wearing the same t-shirt that I wore in the last video. Yes, people are coming and going. What's going on? Thank you. Apart from the music, meet someone as in what? I'm confused. I'm sitting here with the wife as both work today and tomorrow, so a sensible weekend. That would be good. I think I might have a sensible weekend as well. And I just realised how pale I look. Yes. There's not many people joining today. I don't think this will be a long live stream. Did everyone get a notification when I did this on their phone? Because I found out recently, well, yesterday, that no one is getting notifications of my videos because YouTube hates me. Yes, okay. Mexican men are very affectionate. Have you ever noticed all the PDA? I did actually. Yes. Although, I don't know if I want a man. I kind of have a man at the moment in Colombia. Less said about that, the better. But I already do have some men in, you know, as a traveller, you have to have a man in every country. Chasing a plate, Thomas and Sheena, welcome. How are you doing? How is Turkey? Excuse the hair. It looks a bit blonder than it did the other day, but this isn't going to last. Yay for a man. Awesome. Exactly, Kieran. You have to put it about a bit. Absolutely. This is inappropriate. Oh, okay, Watford FC, you always get notifications. Okay, because I was with someone the other day when I uploaded a video, no notification despite they had the bell on there. A lot of people have said that, oh, welcome back. I was like, well, I already did 2 videos before the last one. So that's not making me think that no one's watching those ones for some reason. But But never mind. Yeah, so I am in Colombia for basically. I'll start again. I just wanted to do a quick update thing because I haven't done a live stream for ages. I know I haven't done many videos lately, which I described why in the last one when I was wearing this same t-shirt. Yeah, just a bit of a chat really, just to see what people are doing. Normally we have over 20 people, but it's very quiet today. Maybe it's the wrong time. I don't know. Oh, that music is driving me up the wall. Yeah, just a bit of an update really. Okay, what's Thomas and Sheena saying? Amazing here in Turkey. Loving seeing videos from you coming up. Yes. Oh, so they also get notifications. Fantastic. Oh, we've got 7 people now. People that are just joining. Where are you from? What are you up to today? Any regular viewers? That would be great. Oh, just dropped to 6. This is classic. Yeah. So update wise, I'm in Bogota until Medellín for another 2 weeks. Then I go to Bogota for a week. Then back to Mexico. I forgot to mention on the last video what the travel plans coming up are. So for anyone that doesn't know, I haven't disappeared from YouTube. I am still doing videos. I've just been working a lot. And in terms of travel plans, Mexico, I'll be there until the end of October, as I said, including a trip to Guadalajara and Monterrey, and also Puebla again, because I've got a man in Puebla. I was going to say a friend. Oh, he is a friend. Hi, people that are just joining. Margaret, Kieran, that's your wife. Awesome. Hi, Margaret. I haven't spoken to you properly before. Yes, that husband of yours is a loose cannon. He's a nightmare. And hi, Gemma. Oh, you're in Plymouth at the moment. Okay. Awesome. Yes, I'm good. I hope with the west. I was going to do an accent then, but it didn't work. The West Country on your tractor. Or is that Devon or Somerset? It's not. I can't do a Cornwall accent. Harwin is here. Celebration, everyone. Hello, Harwin. Awesome. He is my Monterey man. Not man in that way, but you know what I mean. Yes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back to Mexico. One thing I will probably do a video about is comparison between Colombia and Mexico. And to be honest with you, I prefer Mexico. So Mexican viewers will be happy about that. With Colombia, there just doesn't. It's just not as. There isn't as much variety as in Mexico in terms of history, religion, culture, food. The food's okay in Colombia, especially street food. Chasing a plate, a great place to come for street food. Definitely, it's literally all I eat. What was I saying? My brain is all over the place today. Yeah, so Mexico, so I've said the places I'm going in Mexico. There's lots of things I want to do in Mexico that I didn't do the last time, particularly in Ciudad de Mexico. Santa Fe, there will be a video from Santa Fe that I promised to do last time that I didn't do. Other things, like there's various other things, like the place with the boats, the colourful boats, you know, the one that I want to go to, and various other things. So if anyone has any suggestions for any Mexico videos, please put that in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this later, and that will give me a good bulk of things to film. Okay, let's look at the chat again. Oh, Gemma, I thought you were from Devon. So definitely, Midlands, you're not from Birmingham, are you? Oh, yeah, I can't do Birmingham accent. Stuck on a bus. Oh, yes. So glad to see you're back on. I missed the video. Okay, so have you seen the Colombia ones, Gemma? Because no one seems to have seen them. They don't seem to be appearing in anyone's subscription things, but it's all good. Or it's the actual fact that Colombia hates me and YouTube doesn't recommend any videos. Basically, that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah, so that's Mexico. After that, I'm going to the Formula 1 end of October, the Mexican Grand Prix. That is the plan. If anyone's been around since the beginning, one of the first videos I ever did, it's really bad by the way, was the Formula 1 in Abu Dhabi. That was my first stop when I left London the first time. So I'll probably be doing some videos. Obviously, slightly better than those ones because I can't watch those ones. The music is really distracting me. Yeah, so after Mexico, I will be going. Okay, the first one, I'm going to New York first because I've never been to New York. We've got people jumping on now. There's a good phrasal verb for any English students. I'll come back to that in a second. So yeah, I've always wanted to go to New York, and to be honest, one of the reasons I'm going there is because I can get cheap flights from Mexico City to New York and then back to London. Yes. So again, if anyone's been to New York, please let me know down below any recommendations. Obviously, I know about the regular things. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. So you did see the one on Pablo Escobar. Yes, documentary type video. Just on that, so that I think I said it in the last video. I wasn't happy with the Pablo Escobar video because it was the first time I'd done a video filming a tour, and it was so difficult because it's difficult to talk. It's like metal day or something here today. It's difficult to talk how I normal talking. You have to keep up with the tour as well, which is difficult. So that's why I do a lot of voiceovers. But I didn't like that video. But the Coming to 13 one, El Green, please watch that one because it is my favourite video of all time. The editing is much more simplified. There's no transitions apart from some fades, and it's just a lot better. I might ask him to turn the music down. 1 second. Cool. I'm back. The music is off. Okay. Oh, there's me running into the shot about 2 seconds behind. Okay. Let's go to the chat again. Okay, 1 second. Let me just scroll backwards. No, I was saying about the Coming to 13 one. I'm very proud of that video. I don't care that no one watches it compared to the Mexico ones. It's a video I could watch over and over again. Not blowing my own trumpet, but it's one of my favourite ones. There was a lot I did with the editing that was very different that you may not have noticed. Animals, what's happening? How's Prague today? I will be in Prague. I'll come on to that in a bit. If you're coming to Nashville, oh, thank you, L Green. What does L stand for? Louise? Lucy? Who knows? I'm all caught up and the Colombia video showed up just a little delayed. Still headed to Germany. Ah, that's a good question. Possibly. And here's my German book that I'm reading. Well, sometimes. Liz. Lovely. I now know your name. Lovely. Okay. Right, let me just go back to the chat. I'll come back to Germany in a second. I've been to New York, but I was too young to remember anything. How old are you, Harwin? I saw your Instagram. You do look young. Definitely younger than me. Yes, wrinkles. I was able to. It was sometimes hard to understand what the guide was saying. Yes, impossible. That's why I didn't do as much of the guide talking in the Coming to 13 one, because it was important. And also his English wasn't fantastic. The other guy's English was better in the Coming to 13 one. Yeah, back to Germany. So yes, so I mentioned this in the last video. The fact that I wanted to have like a long-term base for a long time, but having been in Colombia for 2 months, and I've been in Medellín for almost 2 months now, I don't think I want that. Yes, shocker. So yeah, and why don't I want that? I guess it's because I thought I wanted that for a long time, but then it's got to a point where I'm like, actually, I would rather keep moving. I get bored very easily in one place. And this whole thing about having a life, I don't want a life. I'd rather have the travel life. You know, this whole thing about having friends and relationships, it's not all it cracked up to be honest. So, yeah, I'm thinking of I'm thinking going to Germany, but perhaps not having that as a long-term base, I think. But I might just pop there for a little bit. Yes. Okay. Okay, you're 21, Harwin. Awesome. Considerably younger than me. I wish I was still 21. Okay. And then, so back to London at the end of October, sorry. Is to get a visa for Russia, which, from what I've read, can take either 4 days or 4 months. Not 4 months, 4 weeks, sorry. And also it's very complicated. You have to have a letter of invitation. You have to do all those sorts of things, which is relatively easily done, but it's just time and effort, you know. And I actually have to not the embassy, but some other place in London to get that. It's the only way I can get it. As soon as I have that, I had planned to head to Paris. I don't know what happened to my voice then. Paris, then Prague, possibly. So I've got some friends in Prague. I think I told you about them before, Animals, that I might go and visit nearer Christmas. I've got a friend in Gothenburg I'm planning to go and see, Sweden. Then I'll be heading to St. Petersburg and then Moscow, assuming that the visa thing goes okay. Margaret is asking a question. If anyone has any questions, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat. They can be travel related, they can be anything else related, personal related, nothing too personal. I'll come on to that in a second. And then next year, I am planning on going to India, back to Japan, and that's as far as I've got at the moment. Plans will change, but on the whole, this year my plans have pretty much stayed what they were meant to be. If you could jump on a plane tomorrow and go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Oh, Margaret. That's a very good question. If you could jump on a plane tomorrow and go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Excellent question. Yes. And while I'm thinking of that, why don't everyone else ask that question as well? That would be good. Create a bit of conversation. It feels like an English lesson. Except, oh no, you can all speak English, wonderful. Okay, where would I go? Particularly Western Africa, because I really want to go to countries like Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, countries like that, purely because it's so different from anywhere I've been before. Oh, I just had a pain in my heart. It's probably the stress. Yeah, so definitely those countries, I think. But one thing about those countries is that getting a visa, it's time consuming. Some of them you can get an e-visa or visa on arrival, but generally not. And also, getting around, Wi-Fi is an issue. But I think I showed in Cuba I can survive without Wi-Fi, just about. Animals, Iceland, Greenland. Yes, I've never been there. Love to go to Iceland. Margaret, what about you? Where would you like to go if you could? Probably get away from your husband, I'm guessing. Awesome. Lovely. Oh, 1 second. I have a problem with my laptop. There we go. Yeah, and there was other things I wanted to mention was about privilege. I was going to do a video about this, but I thought I might as well mention it on here. So one thing I've noticed recently, I guess from some time in... Oh, 1 second. No, I thought my friend was coming home. One thing I've noticed in Mexico, in some areas of Mexico, in Cuba definitely, and also Colombia, is the fact that a lot of us as travellers are, I guess, overly privileged coming from a Western country, and we take a lot for granted. And that's one thing I've noticed, I've recognised in myself a lot lately, that I didn't think I used to be like that, but I am. And it very much goes in with the channel name, First World Traveller. First World Problems. I complain about trivial things and stupid things when actually, in the grander scheme of things, they're not important. And I've definitely found that. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that when you go to other countries? I often feel guilty in terms of, I guess, I don't earn a lot from teaching, but it's considerably more than what an average salary would be in, say, Cuba or Colombia. And I guess it's very much opened my eyes to that kind of thing. Yeah. I just wanted to put that out there because it's something that's very much in the forefront of my mind at the moment. Yeah. Everyone's being very quiet today. This is going to be a short live stream. I think I might end it soon. Oh, Margaret, what are you talking about? Would love to go to Borneo. And I'll be visiting Japan in the next few years. Looks an absolutely brilliant country. Yes, awesome. Borneo, check out Curbside Travel, a mate of mine. He did a couple of videos in Borneo last year. I will type it. Oh, I've just realised I can now type on my laptop. Fantastic. I'm going to try and look at my phone now, actually, because I'm looking at the screen too much. Oh, look, I come up with a little crown. Amazing. Borneo, from what I understand, there's not a huge amount to do there. Maybe I haven't done my research. Japan, I'm definitely going back next year. It is my favourite country, apart from Mexico. Probably equal, I think. Yeah, where would you like to go in Japan, Margaret? I think that is a good point. Travel thing to take into consideration when they go to other countries. Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people say to me, like from the UK, oh, if you were in the UK, you could be earning this much money. I don't care. You know, people think that, yeah, I don't earn a lot of money, but it's all relative, you know, considering rent in Colombia or an Airbnb is like £200 a month. So what's that? $250 maybe. So, and considering I don't have many other expenses other than travel, it's doable. So I don't need to have that amount of money, and it sounds awful. It sounds privileged and first world person. Yes, I'm actually thinking of changing the name of this channel because I think people see it and they don't understand what it means, and they think it's an arrogant, like rich person, but I'm clearly not. Look at my hair. Yes. Yes, you're having life experiences, which is a lot more valuable than sitting in an office every day. Yeah. It is. I mean, I've never sat in an office because I worked for a large supermarket. But I get what you mean. I got nothing out of doing that, personally. Yeah, and if anyone can take the time to say everything and go away and take a risk and be brave, then do it. It isn't always perfect. You know, I think I talked about in the last video that it's, you know, I've been quite depressed the last, well, not at the moment, but maybe like a month ago. And yeah, so there's ups and downs. It's not always perfect, and people say, oh, how come you're not on a beach, and why haven't you got a tan? I was like, well, because I'm not on holiday. This is life. And it really winds me up. I mean, it is quite warm here, but I'm working every day. I do English lessons 5 days a week. I've somehow cut my head. I don't know how. I think it might have been the bleach. Yeah. I'm just rambling now. Okay. Right, Osaka, Tokyo, Sapporo, and that's just to start with. I haven't been up north. It's definitely on the list. From what I understand, the transport's a bit more difficult up there. Definitely Tokyo, that has to be done. Osaka, it grew on me, Osaka. It's somewhere that I didn't like the first time I got there, but I was there 3 times, and it grew up. It grew up? What am I talking about? It grew on me as time went by. Oh, there's 8 people. New people are coming. If you've just joined, who are you? Where are you from? Any Mexicans on here today that can tell me about Guadalajara and Monterrey? Harwin, are you still there? Yes, you need to tell me what I should do in Monterrey, because there will literally be a... basically, I'm going to be there for a week. Guadalajara for about 3 days. Monterrey for 3 days. Yes. And I really haven't done any research yet in terms of that. Is there a difference between the Colombian climate and the Mexican? Yes and no. I guess Mexico City and Bogota are quite... Well, actually, no, not. Bogota was different because I think it's higher. maybe, and in terms of altitude, and it was really cold when I was there, like 5 degrees. It was never that cold in Mexico City when I was there. But where I am now, it's a lot lower, so it's like 25, 27 every day. It does get quite cold in the morning and at night. So in that respect, it's quite similar to Mexico, because I used to freeze my ass off in Mexico City at night. Then again, that was in like March, so it's probably a bit warmer now. Maricela, greetings from Mexico. We have another Mexican. Mexico for life. I actually had a English lesson this morning with a new person from San Luis Potosi. Apologies for saying it wrong. And I don't have many Mexican students. It's mainly Russia, Brazil, and Colombia at the moment, and Italy as well. So it was great to have someone from Mexico. It felt like I'd come home. I was talking to a fellow countryman, even though I'm not from Mexico, but it feels like I am. Where are you from, Maricela? Let me know. I am coming back to Mexico in 3 weeks. Yes, nice chatting to you, but I have to go to work? What is this W word beginning? Work? What's that? Yes, catch you later, Margaret. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your questions. I always thought South America was warmer. I guess it can be. I suppose it's a lot bigger than, it's a very big continent. So like, you know, down in the bottom of south of Argentina, with the glaciers and everything, like, it's really cold. But and also the altitude. Cynthia, I got a bit excited then. Cynthia is here. Cynthia is a Patreon. If anyone wants to support this channel, then go to my Patreon link. If you don't know where that is, then you need to read the descriptions in every video. Lovely. Yeah, and the other thing, yes, South America, I think the altitude is a big factor. I know Mexico City is at altitude, but obviously you've got the Andes, South America, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador. I really struggled in Ecuador with the altitude. This was like 10 years ago. I think I told that story before, when I almost died up a volcano from a collapsed lung. You couldn't make it up. Cynthia, what are you up to today? And Maricela, tell me where you're from. In Mexico. Yes, and the other thing I wanted to talk about was Spanish and pronunciation. This is another thing I was going to do a video about, but I'll just do it on here instead. There were a lot of comments in the Mexico videos about pronunciation. And oh, is it buffering? My screen is buffering. Maybe it's just me. And the reason for that is because I'm not Spanish. Simply. And for me, it just sounds stupid if I'm talking in English and then I say a word in a Spanish accent. It sounds weird. But despite that, because I am living now with a Venezuelan, it's my Spanish is coming along. My Spanish is improving, along with my pronunciation. So in future videos, especially in Mexico videos, I will be making an effort, more of an effort, to speak with a bit of an accent. Just so you know. Lovely. Even though it might sound stupid, and I will get so many hate comments regardless of what I do with speaking, I might as well just, I've been that tempted to just do a video where I don't speak. That would be easier. Maricela from Puebla, amazing. I was in Puebla how many months ago? A couple of months ago, a few months ago, and I will be back there in probably October. I'm visiting a friend that lives there. I can't wait to hear you speak some Spanish. Okay. Estoy embarazada. Yo tengo una comida bebé. It's a joke I've got with my friend. I'm pregnant and I have a food baby. I said it in a restaurant and surrounded by women, and they were all laughing. Yes, that's just an example. Okay, what is Kieran saying? Do I like Thailand, mate? No. Some parts of Thailand, yeah. The only thing about Thailand is that because it's become so tourist orientated. So like when I was in Phuket, I mean, I wouldn't normally go to somewhere like that and, you know, do the whole drinking sex club thing. ping pong shows, but I did, but only because I needed a break after Japan. And actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought in terms of that tourist aspect. But you know what? I need to go in Thailand, northern Thailand. I've never been there. I've been to the south twice. Was it 3 times? I can't even remember. Like, so Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Phi Phi, Koh Tao. They're all great for snorkeling, that sort of thing. But again, the snorkeling isn't great because of the damage that's been done. Yeah, so if I go back to Thailand, it would be for 2 reasons. Go to the north just to travel, but also if I was to live there for a bit in terms of working, because Chiang Mai in particular is a popular destination. Okay, what's everyone saying? 1 second. Oh yeah, okay, I'll come back to that in a second. So yeah, but I'm not sure about Thailand because it's in terms of living. Oh, we've got 10 people. It's livening up a bit now. New people, again, where are you from? What are you up to today? What are you doing with your weekend? Let me know. Any questions about Colombia, Mexico, future travels, anything, let me know. That would be great. And talk amongst yourselves as well. Cynthia always does a lot of that. Where's Matthew Tasker today? He's not here. Yeah, someone remind me what I was saying. In terms of Thailand, so I want to be somewhere where it's easy in terms of visas, because with Thailand it's difficult. You've got to leave every 30 days unless you get a double entry. I think it's 60-day. So basically the maximum you can stay there is 6 months. But like I said, I don't want to be somewhere for 6 months, quite simply. I just saw an amazing question. Robasol77. I'll come to that in a second. Actually, I'll do that now. But first, Maricela, thank you very much. Always you're welcome to Mexico. That means a lot. I must say, anyone that I've met in Mexico, people on here that I've met, I've always been so welcoming. More, probably even more so than Japan, because I think obviously I can understand Spanish a lot better than Japanese. But regardless of the language, it's really made that difference between just somewhere that I like and somewhere that I love. I said that in Cuba. That's the difference. That's the thing that makes the difference. Emotional connection, and I have that with Mexico, and I'm glad I do. And I was thinking the other day that I did a video in January when I was in Japan, and I did travel plans 2018, and I talked about going to Mexico in that. But then I said, no, I'm not going to, because at the time, all of my English students were in an area of the world where it would have been difficult for me to do lessons in terms of the time zone in Mexico. But actually, it's worked out a treat. It worked out fine. So I like this song. I can't remember who sings it. Yes, sorry about the music. Yeah, so I'm massively looking forward to going back to Mexico. I feel like I'm going home, because I have not felt like that in Colombia whatsoever. It's been quite the opposite. I felt comfortable in Colombia, but not to the extent that I did in Mexico, especially in Mexico City and Puebla. I loved Puebla. Puebla. I'm looking forward to coming back for some... Mariceli, you'll have to remind me, what are the 2 dishes? There's the mole poblano, is that the one? And there's another one, samitas. I always called it like a burger. Apologies if I got that wrong, but I'm really looking forward to having them when I come back to Puebla. Okay, so differences between Mexico, Colombia and Cuba. That is an amazing question. I don't even know where to start. So the one similarity I would say is what I just mentioned before about the fact that it really makes all 3 countries make you think about your privilege, I guess, as someone from a Western country. And I hate saying that, it sounds awful, but I mean it in a humble way. And that's one thing I think it's really changed me, that aspect of seeing people, everyday life, and they make the most of what they've got, especially in Cuba. Not so, I'm not talking about Mexico so much, but and I guess the thing for me is, when I think about the UK, or I'm not from America, but I imagine the same, is that people complain about everything, and everything is offensive, and the things we complain about are trivial, stupid things. Which, guess what? That is exactly what this channel is called. So I'm really glad that has happened, because it really ties in with that. So I guess as a result, going forward, I guess I recognise that more in a lot of countries. And the thing with Colombia is, I don't know how clued up everyone is on the current political situation with Colombia, Venezuela, particularly Venezuela. So I'm staying with someone, he's not here now, but I'm staying with someone from Venezuela at the moment. And as a result, I've learned a lot about the situation in Venezuela, the fact that so many people are coming to Colombia, economy issues, that sort of thing. And it just makes you realise how lucky and fortunate you are that you're not, you're not confronted with those issues. And I'm feeling that firsthand, because I'm living with someone from that country. I will come on. Oh, thank you for the super chats, everyone. Cynthia and Kieran, thank you so much. It means a lot. It might actually mean that I get paid by YouTube this month. I will go into that in a second. Remind me if I forget. We've got 13 people now. It's and you know what? The great thing is, it's still, when I get a super chat, it still tells me how much it is in Mexican pesos. I'm Mexican. Basically, there was one thing that someone said once. It doesn't matter where you're from. Everyone's welcome in Mexico. It doesn't matter where the fuck you're from, except maybe Donald Trump. Other differences. So yeah, with Mexico, the big positive was the fact that it's so varied. And so Mexico City alone, for me, was the most varied city I've ever been to. But, and I went east, sorry, not west. I don't know my compass. How I've got around the world is a mystery. Yes, what was I saying? My brain's gone. Yeah, but just going across to, the Yucatan Peninsula, it was so different to Mexico City in terms of the heat, the food, the people as well, because especially in Oaxaca as well, it's not a particular, in Oaxaca City, it's not a particularly wealthy city, so there was a huge difference there to Mexico City. But the big difference between Mexico and Colombia definitely is the variety. I just don't feel that here. There isn't as much history and culture. I feel there's too much of an emphasis on the negative side of Colombia, which I haven't helped by doing 2 videos about it. Granted. So, I think a lot of people cover history, the negative side, but hopefully the Comuna 13 video showed that there's a positive side, and how the country, or Medellín, is changing. Cuba, it's very difficult to talk about similarities, because Cuba is so different to Mexico and Colombia. It's like a completely different world. And I did say this in one of the Cuba videos, I think, that there's no comparison to Mexico. The people, the economy, the things to do, but mostly the difficulties in getting around, access to Wi-Fi, planning things, that sort of thing. Yes, but in Cuba you have to embrace those things. I was only in Havana, but that really changed me, because I don't like looking at my phone now as much. I feel like I should be doing something else, which I did in Cuba. So if you go to Cuba for anything, go there for that, because it massively changes your view on things. I recommend visiting Parque Fundidora in Monterrey. Okay, awesome. I will write that one down if I had a pen. I've lost my pen. I have a red Sharpie pen, which made me high the other day because it was so strong. Yes. What is, so a park, obviously. What kind of park? Right, Watford FC is going. Have to shoot now, mate, but if food and bed as out at 2 in the morning, work. I don't understand. Oh, you're out at 2 in the morning working. Okay, cool. Not a lot, but just a bit, and it's cheers, awesome. Kay and Mags. Yeah. Cynthia, name the languages you speak. Basically, oh, very well. Oh, good thinking. I was thinking of doing a video about languages. I probably will, actually. I've got a list as long as my arm of videos I need to do. A lot of them are sit you down videos. I'll come on to that in a second. I'm forgetting things. Name the languages you speak. Obviously English, but not very well. People say my English isn't great because I'm from a particularly common area of West London where people don't speak properly. So where I'm from, people say words like three, thorough, and through. You say free, thorough, and through. You don't do the sound. So I had to teach myself to do that when I was younger. German. So I studied German for 7 years at school and college, but this was like 20 years ago. I can read German, as you can see from my book. I can listen. What's the other one? Write in German. My grasp of German grammar is not bad. But when it comes to speaking, I'm a complete disaster. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go back to Germany. Spanish, basic. That'll probably be the next one. I can string a sentence together. I can buy food at a shop. I can talk to a taxi driver. I can, basic stuff, but nothing more than that. The last couple of weeks have massively helped the situation with living with this guy from Venezuela. I don't know if he's watching. I think he's hungover. Everything else, right? Every other language is just what you need to get by in the country. So Japanese, ohayou gozaimasu, arigatou gozaimasu. Korean, kamsahamnida, annyeonghaseyo, thank you and goodbye. Mandarin, basic, things like that. So I don't know if I said this before, but I am half Polish. My mother spoke Polish until she was about 18 and then miraculously forgot overnight. I don't know what happened there. I think I told this story before. If you want me to go through that, I will do that. Pretty much that's it. When I was in Brazil, a bit of Brazilian, but that was many years ago. I've forgotten everything. Okay, what's everyone saying? I'm really far behind. Okay, Molo Poblano Sanitas. Awesome. Oh, is that Chili's? What's ENH mean? I don't know. I can't wait to go back to Puebla because I said it in a video then. It was one place that I fell in love with. It felt like home straight away. The Zocalo, I could never get the pronunciation right. Sorry, with the Zocalo. I say it the English way. It was perfect. Lots of restaurants, kids running around, balloons. It was awesome. It had the right balance of tourism and locals, I think, in Puebla, whereas Oaxaca was the opposite. I didn't like Oaxaca. Okay. Hagada. I don't know what you mean with that. Can you get a Venezuelan visa? Hello, Ztez Maxim. I always forget how to say that. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. It's one thing that I haven't looked into because of the issues there. It's a bit like how I felt about Colombia 10 years ago when people say that it's dangerous and everything. Obviously, there's a lot of issues in Venezuela at the moment. So, but to be honest, I've been in this part of the world for so long. Maxim is fine. Okay. That I really want to go somewhere else. I'm bored of Colombia. Northview. Oh, yes, Northview. Of course. You are from Vancouver. I remember. I've been to Vancouver. It was actually my first ever, I can't even speak, ever solo trip in 2006. Awesome. Calgary, Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper. I wasn't planning on going to Vancouver, but I ended up going because I'm an X-Files fan. Colombia has great music. You know what, I don't know. There seems to be a mixture of reggaeton, salsa, all sorts of different musics. Music is not an uncountable noun. No, it is. I guess you could say musics. Okay. I lived in Colombia, South Carolina. Okay, it's a big. Okay, we're going back to Monterey now. Okay, it's a big park, not as big as the one in Mexico City. Oh, do you mean like Chipotle? It has lots of things to do. Awesome, thank you, Harwin. I will definitely put that on my list. That sounds like a good video idea. So in both Guadalajara and Monterrey, I'll literally have maybe 2 or 3 days in each place to explore. I won't be teaching during that week, so I'm just filming video after video after video. I'm looking forward to getting back to a time when I can actually do that. Liz, I love your accent. I would love to be able to speak with a British accent. It's a lot better than a Southern accent. That's funny. And one thing about the British accent, it always makes me laugh how foreigners think that everyone speaks like the Queen. I would like a cup of tea and watch Harry Potter. But no one speaks like that, mate. It's all like this in London, isn't it? A lot of slang. You don't use the T's. You don't use the H's either. You say V instead of TH. There's so much with London. And when I go back to London in end of October, I will be speaking like that again, mate, innit? It's a bit of an exaggeration. But I definitely don't speak like the Queen. 100% Mexicano. Welcome. How are you doing? I don't think I've seen you here before. Try Guan. I can't say that. I know the one you mean though. Lots of students and youthful. Yeah, I've seen lots of videos about it. We'll see. I might do that. Students and youthful energy. I'm not a student and I'm not youthful. Although someone did think I was 25 the other day. They are disastrously wrong. Okay. We're at 47 minutes. I'm surprised it's gone on so long. I'm really hungry. I've had nothing to eat today. Okay, the other things I was going to say. Let me think. Okay, so videos. So you'll notice. I want your thoughts actually. So with the last videos I've done, the ones with the tour companies. Just to clarify, I did get those tours for free because I offered to do the video with them. And that's just something I'm exploring. So, do you want me to do more of those style videos or less of those style videos? Yes, because I like doing them, and the only things because it feels like you're doing a job and you have to do a really good job of it. Not that I don't do that normally, but it feels like you're there filming like a professional. I'm not a professional. And the editing process is so long with these videos because it's more complicated. You've got to do voiceovers. You've got to think of it in a different way. So it takes a long time to do. That's why there hasn't been as many videos. One of the reasons why. And I've got 2 planned for this week. One is a coffee tour, which again I've been offered free, and another one is another tour in another location, Medellín. Yeah, so they're planned for Wednesday and Thursday, filming this week. And I've got a load of videos, including one about how I make and save money while traveling. I did one a long time ago, but there's a lot of new things that I'm starting to do now, which is a bit of an update. And various other ones that I've kind of mentioned throughout. Before I go back to Mexico to do lots of videos there. Hopefully when I get back to Mexico, well, it will happen. I'll be back on the same schedule, not schedule, British English, that I was when I was in Mexico the last time. So one video on a Monday that will be like a talking video, and then 2 bigger travel videos later in the week. Yes, and I'm hoping my views will increase again because since I left Mexico, dead. 6,000 subscribers. Where are they? I'm like looking for them. When most videos only get like 300 views. It's hilarious. But thank you for those of you that do watch. Just a reminder, please write a comment and do the like button on videos, even if it's a dislike, because a video, it promotes your video, it recommends your video to people that may not watch it. That's why the Mexico videos did so well. Yes, let me go back. So please remember to do that. Guadalajara, I can't say that place, Liz. I will Google it. Thank you. Youthful with the blonde hair. My roots are coming through already. I don't know if you can see them. Very small, but This isn't going to last. I'm going to diet again. I'm way past youthful, but the university gives guana. I can't even do it that way. I'm hopeless with Mexican place names, as you may have seen before. Is Taxihuatal? No, I still can't do it. Awesome. There are a lot of buildings I'm looking forward to. That's Guadalajara, yeah. Yeah. More of your on your own. I don't. Oh, so Cynthia, I'm correcting your grammar. I don't understand your sentence. More of your on your own tours. So do you mean the normal style of video rather than actually doing it with a tour company? Yeah, I haven't done one of them since I was in Cuba. One of the things I want to do, which you would have seen in the Communa 13 video, the more interaction with people and less of me in it. So less of me talking to a camera, more showing people. Yes, I think that worked in the last one. That Communa 13 video is my favourite video of all time. So if you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Yes, it's just my favourite video. Simple. You'll definitely get more views when you get back to Mexico. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Liz. And I will comment. Lovely. Because one of the big problems with a travel channel is that in an ideal world, it would be great if people subscribe to this channel because of me, believe it or not. But the reality is many people will subscribe due to a specific location. Maybe they're from there, which is where a lot of the Mexican subscribers came from, or maybe someone is looking to go somewhere, which is what happened with Japan. So I had many American viewers that subscribed because of the Japan videos. So understandably, someone that subscribed because of a Japan video is probably not going to be interested in, Pripyat in Ukraine or Moldova or, Mexico videos. So that's understandable. But it is frustrating because it feels like every time I come to a new country, I have to start all over again. But there's you people, the faithful few, that do remain loyal and watch regardless of where I am. So, if I did a makeup channel or I probably won't do that, or a unboxing channel, it would be a different story. But yes, something has gone crazy with my phone and that it's okay. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. So thank you, Cynthia. Like I said, I didn't like the Pablo Escobar video that I did because it was the first time that I'd done one. But the second one, I think it was a lot better. Okay. Plus in Mexico, you gave helpful guides like to the metro. Oh, I had a comment on that video today, actually. People don't understand the music. I did the classic traditional Mexican music at the beginning, but it was a joke. That's one thing many people don't get, that with many of my videos, there is a hidden meaning behind a lot of them, which you have to, I think only intelligent people will understand. So particularly the one in Oaxaca that got so much hatred because I was moaning and it was a boring video, but that was the intention of the video, to show that travel isn't always wacky and perfect. Sometimes you have a boring day where you go to a supermarket and buy washing powder and do your washing in a shower, and you get frustrated with it and you get annoyed and you get pissed off. That's the point of this, to show that it's the realities of travel. And there's other ones with music as well. So often music has a hidden meaning, but some of those are quite personal. People search for that. We did before so that's another thing. And this goes back to the beginning. So if I look at my most popular videos of all time, the ones that still get views continuously over time are the ones like that. So the guide to the metro, all the ones in Japan I did about getting trains, buses, the city basics, I used to call them. So one I did in Shanghai is one of my highest viewed videos, and all the ones in Japan. So I'm thinking of doing some of them about Colombia over the next couple of weeks. How expensive is Colombia? That's the other one. Shopping and supermarkets, they're really popular. The ones I did in Japan about the convenience stores and the supermarkets, I'm thinking of doing that in Mexico. Actually, yes, Mexico. That's one thing didn't get around to doing last time. Mexican supermarkets, amazing. Not so much Walmart. Yes, normal style video on your own. Okay, yeah. See, I think I'm growing out of them. Because I find them boring when I'm editing them, so I try to think what you think. So I think a mixture I will do going forward. Yes. Maxim, I subbed because Ali from Psycho Traveller shouted you out in a stream. I think she did today, because I went on there at 5:30 in the morning. I was like, I can't watch this. I'll be back later. Yeah, classic. So she's back in the UK now, isn't she? I will also be back there soon. Awesome. Okay, another place to visit is La Gruta de Garcia. It's a cave with a tour. Awesome. I love caves. I went in one in, I don't even remember where it was now. I think it was in Japan. I really don't know. It was right near the beginning. It was maybe, I can't remember, but I had a helmet on and I hit my head. It was the place with the ice sculpture thingies. Where was that? That's going to really bug me now. I'm going to have to look at that. I'm not good with enclosed spaces. You may have remembered from Vietnam, the Cu Chi tunnels. There was another tunnel in Korea and also in Cuba, the nuclear bunker. I get claustrophobic, yes. I love your music choices. I get the hidden meaning. Or at least someone does. So particularly with the one in Cuba, which had the platters, only you, in black and white. And then it went to the Havana, da, 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 you know the song, in colour. So it was the contrast between old and new. That's my favourite intro for any video. It took me ages to do that. And yes, okay. But there's been other ones as well, but enough about music. I do like classical music. Ali is doing a meet-up for her book launch. Yes, unfortunately I won't be in London at the same time. I think was it September she's doing it? That would be totally awesome if I could go to that, but unfortunately not. I won't be writing a book. I haven't got time to write a book. Please do some how-to guides for Colombia. We want to... Okay, fantastic. I will do that. Anything in particular? So, I mean, yeah, so how... what's the one? So I said Colombia bus travel. So I'm getting a bus in 2 weeks. So I will do that video then. Because the buses in Colombia are fantastic. Someone is shouting. Yeah, the buses are fantastic in Colombia. Supermarket, potentially. The only thing is I get really paranoid about filming in a supermarket because I got told off in Hiroshima for doing that. And also somewhere else. So it's very difficult to do a supermarket video. I guess I could ask the person at the door if it's acceptable. Yeah, so... And one about food in particular in Colombia. There's a great thing I could talk about with the disparity, that's a good word, between supermarkets in Colombia to convenience stores and other like local independent shops I've noticed. I think that would be useful. The metro, I was going to do a video about the metro in Medellín, but to be honest, it would be about 2 minutes long because it's really simple. You just get, just the same as everywhere, you get a Civica card or you can just pay it one by one. Tap it as you go in. You put it in a hole, or you tap your card, and that's it. And as you saw, the metro was in the Comuna 13 video briefly. It's really clean. It's really modern. Yeah. So one about transport, one about food. What about is it safe in Colombia video? That's been on my list. I've been thinking about that. Yes, so I will do my best to film that this week. Awesome. I think I'm going to go in a minute because my voice is going. This is the length of an English lesson, 1 hour long. Any last questions before I go? Not about the hair. And then I'll go. And this week, yeah, there'll be. I'm going to try and do as many videos as possible this week. It's because I actually have some time. Amazingly, mark my words. Do the buses have Wi-Fi and plugs? Yes, yes, they do. At least the one I got. So there's lots of. It's when you go to a bus station in Colombia, it's like it's a veritable minefield of companies. There's Bolivariana. Something Rapido, which Rapido is the one I got from Bogota to Medellin, and it was like a double decker. The seats were like, you know, those seats in the airport, like the massage seats. It was like one of them. It was big, and it went right back. And you've got yeah, plug. You've got a little TV. It's like a tablet thing in front of you. I was right at the front, so I was right by the big window. The Wi-Fi is intermittent. Yeah, but yeah, the buses in Colombia were really impressive. I mean, I caused a lot of controversy with my bus comments in Mexico, but I swear the buses in Mexico that have Wi-Fi and plugs do not exist. I am yet to locate one. At least I couldn't. I'm probably wrong, but I'll make it my mission to find one of those buses in Mexico next time. Yeah, neighbourhoods to stay or visit. Yeah, that is. So I'm planning a video. I was not sure how I should do it. I've got about 10 different areas that I've kind of either stayed in or been to in Medellin. That I was like a minute segment on each one, but it's going to take ages to film because I've got to travel all around. So I might do a different. I'll just probably cut it down to maybe 5 areas, the most popular ones, and places to stay away from. There's definitely a couple of them. I was walking through one about 2 o'clock in the morning a few days ago. But you just got to be streetwise, like anywhere. But I'll talk about that more in the video. Yeah, you can drink the water in Colombia, no problem. Foods, in terms of food, the street food's really good. Especially, if, I guess the difference is with Mexico is that here it's a lot more, I think it's a lot more meat orientated, where it hasn't got the vegetable aspect of Mexico. Awesome, thanks Cynthia. As you go, I think I will also go. Thank you for coming on, everyone. It's been a while, I know. Maybe we'll do another one next week. See what happens, depending on how many videos I can get done this week. Today is Saturday. I've got another couple of lessons later. Tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday are filming days and editing days. So awesome. Thanks for coming on. I will see you all soon. Thanks for all the advice with Mexico, etc. Lovely. I'll catch you later. Now, how do I turn this off? Oh, there we go. I'll do the X.